Alright, guys, so last film we got My Bloody Valentine. Came out in 2009. It's a remake of the original from the 80s, which means obviously it's rated R. It's an hour and 41 minutes. Now, one of the biggest things that I will tell you is I prefer this film over the original, by far. But that is because I'm extremely biased because of who's in this cast. So, the cast we are introduced to an interesting one. We have Jensen Ackles, who plays Tom Hanniger. We have Jamie King, who plays Sarah Palmer. We have Kerr Smith, who plays Axel Palmer. We have Betsy Rue, who plays Irene. We have Edie Gathegi, who plays Deputy Martin. We have Tom Atkins, who plays Burke. We have Kevin Tighe, who plays Ben Foley. We have Megan Boone, who plays Megan. Now, that's just a little short, cast. Now, the premise of this film is all centered around Henry Warden, who was a miner in the Hanniger mines, and he ends up killing all the guys in the mine. And he ends up this film, he's in a coma, and he wakes up and he starts killing instantly. Now, the film starts off with, like I said, he wakes up in the coma right after we get the little, history as to what happened and why he's, wanted. And so Harry Warden ends up killing everybody in the hospital. And then he goes down to the mines where all these kids are partying. And just like we've been taught in Friday the 13th, don't be partying in dangerous places like that. Starts killing all these people. We get introduced to Tom and Axel and Irene and Sarah. And conveniently, they all survive. Henry's killed. And then we get fast forward 10 years later. And the killings start up again. The minute that Tom comes back into town because he's selling the mines. And, you sit there the whole film trying to figure out, is Harry Warden back? Is it somebody else? It's kind of a giant toss-up. The deaths are very gruesome. This film is actually released as a 3D film, so depending on where you find, to watch it, it would show that things, coming at you, but that's just because it was 3D when it came out in theaters. Now, just the chemistry between Jensen and Jamie and Kerr really brings this film together, and that's why I feel like it's better than the original, because, the deaths are gruesome, and you get a Tom Hanniger that you didn't really expect, if you ever saw Jensen in Supernatural or even in his film Devour, he plays, a good borderline of, charming but also, messed up type of thing, because, when Harry Warden gets killed in the beginning of this film, Jensen ends up, he was there when Burke ends up shooting Warden. So it's to see that, it's very traumatizing. And I feel like Jensen plays it very well. But then you also have Kerr, who's the new sheriff in town, and he plays the jealous husband along with just skeptical as to who the killer could be very well, And I feel like in horror films it's very hard with a small cast like that, it's hard to get that dynamic where you're playing off each other, and at certain times you're not sure exactly who the killer is. Now, a lot of you will probably disagree with me because you'll say the original was a lot better, and I don't blame you. But like I said, it's maybe because I'm biased and I love Johnson. But if you are interested in watching this, it's on Freevee, Prime Video, and Tubi. IMDb gave it a 5.4 out of 10. I give it a 5 out of 5. I'll watch it any day of the week, and my wife enjoys it, so it's definitely interesting. So, give it a watch. Let me know what you think.